So, the transfer window in Russia has just closed. Coincidentally, it's also around the same time where we've gone through 10 games in the season, where we're currently sitting in second. So, a lot of my team were actually quite pissed off because Khimki got relegated. And so, when I took over them, I had a lot of unhappy guys who wanted to leave the team. And unfortunately, I had to let two really good players go. And they did get some pretty decent I did get some pretty decent transfer money in for them. So if I look at the history, the players that I had to let go is our goalkeeper, who is very solid, Ilya Lentratov to Krasnodar, and there's about 3.2 million there with add-ons. So yeah, I mean he's a decent keeper. He's got a pretty good rating. In the games that he did play, he was pretty solid. So I didn't want to let him go, but he was quite annoyed and they put in a good offer. So I had to let him go. Also, Alexander Filin, the centre back, had to let him go. Now, with the squad registrations in the Russian league, you need to have quite a few Russian national players. You can only have max 4 foreign players. And you need to have 4 players who have trained within the club for more than 3 years before they turn 21. So, because these guys were Russian, it was a shame to let them go, and they're hard to replace as well. Not them in the first league, and just the quality of players are not to the level of these guys. But anyways, have to do what you got to do. I did bring some young players in. I got this guy who's a left back. Actually, why did I get him? Did I get him? He's pretty terrible. Anyways, I got Radamel Falcao, and I got him on a coaching / player deal. I tried just get him as a player, but it didn't work. He wanted to be signed as a staff, so I gave him a dual role as a head of youth development and a player. So he's still technically and mentally he's amazing, of course. It's Radamel Falcao. Physically he's not able to move much, 36 years old. But I think for the first league, he's pretty decent. You can see his rating is decent, and he's been playing well. I've been playing him as a deep line forward or a false line. But I played him in support. He doesn't lose the ball, holds the ball really well, makes good movements. So I'm pretty happy with him. And also I got him tutoring my youngsters, my forwards. And of course, Radamel Falcao, model citizen. So he's got the best personality. So hopefully my youngsters will get something out of him, the forwards. Brought in Stanislav Makiv on loan from Lokomotiv Moscow. He's a pretty solid midfielder. Vadim Karpov as well, centre back, since I did lose a centre back. This guy, 20 years old, pretty decent as well for the Russian First League. Alan Litvinov, Litvinov. So I bought this guy. I think he's a very good player, like 16 years old, 17 determination. He's got good mental stats and fairly determined. So hopefully with some mentoring he will turn out to be a pretty solid left back. As you can see, his potential ability is 5 stars. And I got him for 650k. Alexis Mironov, another attacking midfielder, Mazala-like. And then I got a goalkeeper to replace the one that I left. So I got this guy, 36 years old, but I got him for a year. Hopefully we'll get promoted and I can get a better keeper next year. But he should do the job, I believe, in the first league. Tashayev as well. So he's a winger that I brought in who's not too bad, pretty decent. Got him on a free. Now he's valued 2.1 mil. Got this guy on loan from Krasnodar as well. First game that he played, scored a hat-trick. Can play wing back or on the wings, so I needed to get some pacey wingers because the current guys that I have are pretty slow, and I noticed in the game I needed a bit of speed on the wings, especially because Falcao is slow and he's holding the ball up, so I need guys who are just running past him in the 4-3-3 that I play. And Chukhanov, also a decent winger who can play on the left, on the right, in the middle as well. So just trying to strengthen up the flanks. And I think he's also considered homegrown because he's trained in Khimki. Yeah, so he's considered a homegrown player, which helps with the registration. And finally, I got this guy to develop. I got him up for 3.3k. He's got 5-star potential, so hopefully with Falcao's tutorage, he will become quite a useful player for me in the future. If not, then I'll make some money out of him. So 5.25 mil is what I made. I brought in players over 825k, sold them for 5.25 mil. So yeah, this is where we're at. So we're not scoring a lot of goals, but our defense is solid. Falcao's doing a good job assisting, but just need the team to build some chemistry, because a lot of people are still quite unhappy, and a lot of guys are trying to leave, and I've got teams bidding for them, and I'm trying to essentially keep them, because I'm pretty sure with this team I can get promoted and can build on that when we're in the Russian Premier League.
Okay, so it's the mid-season point. Well, I shouldn't say mid-season point, more like we're 70% through. The transfer window in February just closed, so there is a bit of a winter break here in Russia for about 2 months, from December up until end of Feb. I think start of March we'll start playing games, but the transfer window just closed. I got rid of a few players and I brought in a bunch of guys just to help us with that home stretch. We've got 10 games remaining, so we're almost there towards the end of the season, so I got a few players to help us bring us home. So let me show you who they are. So first of all, there's 2 players that I got rid of. One is Carlos Daniel. He is our foreign player, and I needed to leave some space for the registrations because I can only have max 4 foreign players, and with all the new guys I brought in I had 6 in total, so I needed to cut 2 people. So I sold Carlos Daniel. I got $1 million for him, which is pretty decent from Ural. $1 million up front as well, and I mean he's not the greatest player. I mean he's decent for first league, but when you look at his stats, he's not the best out there. So $1 million I thought was a pretty decent fee. Also, I got rid of Brian Idowu, who's our wingback. Once again, you know, he has been declining in his stats. He's been unhappy for most of the season because we got relegated, so he wanted to leave the team. And I'm like, you know what? You go, bro. You go. Give me 1.4 mil. I'll take that. That's pretty decent. Same with Carlos Daniel. I was thinking of who to get rid of, because I didn't need to get rid of 2 foreign players, and this guy handed a transfer request. He was being a pain in the ass. I'm like, you go. Get out of here. Give me 1 mil. Anyway, so who did I bring in? I made 2.4 mil, and there are a few players that I brought in. First one being Niguembo. So I signed him at the very start of the season, so he's not mind-blowing, but he does offer a little bit of speed on the wings, which is something that I need. I noticed some of my guys are just a bit too slow, so he offers me that little bit of speed, some of the Brazilian flair and dribbling, so hopefully I can get down the line a bit more, create a bit more chances, maybe nab a few goals. He can play on the right and the left, which is good, and I got him for free as well, so could potentially sell him in the future for some profit. Nikita Demchenko, got him on a free transfer as well, so 20 years old. Now he's not gonna be a starting player, but this could be one for development in the future and to sell for some profit. So once again, I got this guy for free. He's got decent determination, passing is pretty good, so let's see if I can make him into a bit of a playmaker. Jose Hernandez, so I needed to strengthen my goalkeeping position, because the guys that I currently have there, they're about 2.5 stars, and I mean, I did lose a few games where I thought if I had a slightly better keeper, probably could have got a result. So I did bring this guy in. He's got 13 one-on-ones, 14 reflexes, 14 positioning. His mentals are pretty good. He's an all-round decent keeper. You can see he's about 3.5 star rating. He's got potential to improve as well. So let's see how this goes. Got him on a free as well, so can't complain. He is a foreign player, so I will have to shift a few players out. Timor Suleimanov from Lokomotiv Moscow. So this is a striker that I've brought in to replace Radamel Falcao, who's getting pretty old, and Radamel Falcao decided to retire at the end of the season. So I brought this guy in to sort of take us home, add a bit more physicality up front, someone who can play as a potential maybe pressing advance forward, even though he does play with his back to goal, but you know, he could prove to be a pretty decent target man as well. He's got decent height. So let's see how we go. I'm pretty happy with this. He's got a pretty good rating. Got him on loan. Matthias Wagner. So I got this guy as a backup keeper. His determination is quite high. So I'll see if I can maybe sell him for a profit or use him as a backup goalkeeper. Maybe towards the future, not at the moment. Arthur Cherney as well, so I just need to add a little bit of depth to the fullback position, to the defense. So this guy's decent as well, good determination, decent physicals. I mean, he can be better, but I think as a fringe player, he's all right. 22k is what I paid for him, and same with Andrei Ivashin. So he's just more of a backup for the fullback position, and maybe sell him in the future for a little bit of profit. But that's the players that I brought in. That's the players that I got out. So I think we're ready. We've got 10 games left. The first half of the season went alright. I did get quite a few losses in a few away games, and also home to Peter Moscow. But we did go on an unbeaten run for quite a few games in the league. We did lose to Spartak Moscow in the Russian Cup, which is fine. They're in a division higher than us, and they have a much stronger team. And it was a close game, but I guess I just needed to have a better keeper in this one. So we've got 10 games left. So where are we sitting on the table right now? We are second behind Ural. So we're 6 points apart. So my contract says that we should be winning this competition and getting promoted. But look, I don't care where we end up as long as we get promoted to the Premier League. And the next competitor to us is Chimtanovo, and they are 11 points away. So we've got a healthy lead. All right.